always obtain a paper transfer. Learn more at ttc.ca/proof of payment. Report any suspicious activity to the station staff. A constable or a police officer. If you see something, say something.
And off into one of the way too many slow zones it goes, where it'll take way too long to make its way downtown. Already stopping as soon as it leaves the station. Look at that thing crawl. And that's a view south down the Yonge line. And hello there. Today is Sunday, May 4th. I'll not make the lame and cheesy May the 4th be with you joke, although I guess I just kind of did. It is 12:36 p.m. and the temperature is about 13 degrees Celsius. And I am here at Davisville Station, one of my favorite stations in the network. I'm just going to stay here for a little bit longer just to catch this view of another train slowly lurching into the station. I think you could hop on one foot faster than these trains move. But for this one, we're going to be heading on over to Mount Pleasant Cemetery, which is just to the south of here. As the northbound train rolls in. So we'll head out of the station and head down to Mount Pleasant. I'm going to cut through the western side of the cemetery, and we should be able to check out some cherry blossom trees in bloom. And I don't think I've ever taken this stairwell at the south end of the station here. So I'll just be walking one stop south. There's a mini rail yard here. This is where the TTC headquarters are located. Get a pretty neat vantage point from here. So I think this will kick us out into the mini bus terminal here. And being a Sunday, it is super quiet. I'm sure many people do this. They just walk right out there onto street level. I'm tempted to do that, but it'd be pretty stupid to record yourself doing that. Also, I guess it can be kind of dangerous.
Help keep the TTC safe. Report any suspicious activity to station staff, a TTC special constable, or a police officer. If you see something, say something.
Davisville Station.
And what a beautiful day. We are in Midtown. This is the intersection of Yonge and, well, Chaplin on the west here, and Davisville Avenue on the east. And there is the largest cemetery in Toronto, if I'm not mistaken. It's over 200 acres. Yesterday I went to Trinity Bellwoods, which was quite busy, where the cherry blossoms are nearly in full bloom. And I mentioned a number of spots where you can see them in the city in that video, but I neglected to mention Mount Pleasant Cemetery. But the cemetery itself is quite beautiful and layered in history. Speaking of rest in peace, Rip Finn McCool's. I went to that bar a few times. That closed down several years ago. But fortunately, the Bull still lives on. That's a Firkin pub. They've got that London Underground signage, which is pretty neat. There goes another pathetically slow TTC train. With all this talk of getting people moving in Ontario and the GTA by the province, they're sure not doing anything to get the subways moving. Getting downtown from Midtown can be absolutely painful these days. Years of neglect and underfunding and just incompetence have led to that situation. We'll cross here. And this is one of those bike lanes the province is targeting. A judge has ruled the province to put a pause on their plans to rip them out. But they are appealing that decision. And earlier today, this whole stretch of Yonge Street was closed off. The Toronto Marathon ran through here. I think this reopened at around 10:30 or 11 a.m. I had a thought to come check it out then, but there's that whole sleep thing I was kind of enjoying. I had friends who lived in this building on Merton, and they had a really nice view looking south over the cemetery. And there's a little walkway just around the corner from that building straight ahead that'll connect us to the Beltline Trail and the cemetery, but I'll take the stairs on Yonge Street just up ahead here. Ooh, that's unfortunate. You can actually see some of the cherry blossoms, and you'll get a really good view of them from these ultra slow moving subway trains. Look at that thing fly. If you look out the window, well, it exits St. Clair Station. This is the K. Gardner Beltline Trail, built on an old commuter rail line. You get a neat view of Yonge Street to the north. It's a pretty cool looking sky up ahead. So this walk's not even going to scratch the surface as to what Mount Pleasant has to offer. It's an absolutely enormous cemetery. You can see just how big it is here. Stretching from Yonge Street all the way to Mount Pleasant, and then it extends further east of there. But it was one of the first cemeteries to double as a public park in the city. And it opened, I think, in 1876. There's a plaque commemorating that this was the location of Yonge Station. All right, now it's time to go cherry tree or cherry blossom hunting. I think we will see them if we stick to this western stretch. This was originally planned as a Victorian-era garden cemetery. Over the years, it's become a resting place for a number of very notable figures, and very rich ones at that. William Lyon Mackenzie rests here. He was the longest serving Prime Minister of Canada. Timothy Eaton, founder of the Eaton's Department Store, is here. Frederick Banting, one of the discoverers of insulin. The world-renowned pianist Glenn Gould is here. Among a number of very notable Canadians. I see some trees up ahead, but that looks like it might be one. I think there's just a few here. (1921, 1914). Occasionally, you'll see some that go back to the 1800s. I'm not even certain all of these are cherry blossoms. Apparently that one is. That appears to be a Yoshino cherry tree. How do I know that? I just did a circle the search on my phone. But look at this. It's like out of a medieval video game. That is badass. I think by the end of the week, these trees will be mostly bare. And they'll stay that way until next season rolls around. Well, that's neat and functional. It's like a bench with a piano on it. I think this is the most well-known spot in the cemetery coming up for cherry blossoms. So is there just like a body and a casket inside there? Does anyone ever go in it? There's an actual walkway. I guess it's probably disrespectful just to walk on these markers here. Possibly building a mausoleum right there. I'm gonna snag a picture. I don't know if there's any more throughout the cemetery. Hey, buddy. He's probably used to people throwing him the odd nut. The only nut here is me, I'm afraid. There's actually a very large group of cemeteries run by the same people who are behind this one. They're all called Mount Pleasant. I think it's the Mount Pleasant Cemetery Group. I think we've seen maybe 5% of the cemetery. There's a ravine that cuts through here, just to the east of here. Don't go look at the map. Don't go look at the map. Oh, she's getting water. I wanted to. Take a peek. This thing looks almost Japanese. Does this have a "you are here"? You are here. That's Yonge Street, so that way would be this way. Yeah, Mount Pleasant Cemetery Group. If you have been locked inside the gates, phone KOG Security Services. They do close it at night, so that's handy. You don't want someone getting impaled on the sign or fence, trying to break out. Look at all these people walking on Yonge Street. They should have cut through the cemetery. Well, we're just gonna mosey on over to Yonge St Clair. To wrap up this downright peaceful walk, except for my commentary, for better or worse. I'm probably going to do a live stream at High Park in the coming days. That might already be on the channel by the time this video appears. And I'll probably check out the stretch either at St. George campus of Cherry Blossoms or the one at Exhibition Place. I'm glad there's a little bit of wind out. I want to test some new microphones I bought. It'll be used only for live streaming. The ones I record this with have these wind muffs on them, but I've had trouble getting them to work wirelessly with my iPhone 15 Pro for live streaming. And the receiver that would plug into the phone is a bit on the heavy side and kind of weighs down the gimbal a bit. So I bought a new set with a really light receiver that won't have that issue. So I might just do a really short, quick live stream from here back home, just to test that out. There's the tinnies. I'll pick up some lunch on the way home as well.
So there's a going.
This is the intersection of Yonge and St Clair, just up ahead. And you could pop into St Clair Station here. A Roots closed a store down near Yonge and Eglinton recently. Here's the McD's. You know what, this walk's a bit on the short side. Let's just go a few more blocks south. Because why the heck not? It'll also give me a little more to stream in the other direction. There's Holy Chuck, I could get a burger from there. But what we can do is see if the pickleball courts have opened up. Just south of here.
Oh, yes. And they are nice.
It's always awkward recording when you've got someone right behind you using their full-on outdoor voice. I'm trying to walk a little faster and get some distance. There's some beautiful pictures there. So this is a future development where they've set up some public courts. Pickleball and paddleball just around the corner. Paddleball is pretty awesome. You can make bank shots. Paddle courts, pickleball, public racket club, drinks, pro shop. Oh, one of the courts isn't even in use. But there we go. I hope you enjoyed this one. From Davisville Station into Mount Pleasant Cemetery. Checking out some cherry blossom trees along the way. Finishing up here at Yonge and Rosehill Avenue. Do let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do on YouTube, there's links to my Patreon and channel membership down in the description. I've got an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. Anywho, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink!